What's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday.
Yo, it,
What's
it,
up?
it feels weird being Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're Monday people, right? Like Crush the Open is a Monday thing, but this is the beginning of the week. This
I
is
gotta
it.
get. Oh, there we go. I got video. I know it's a short week. Jeff, you were telling me you were at the a nice hotel. I don't know if we can even say the name anymore because it might imply too much lifestyle and having a few $100 Italian dinner, but in
Yeah, no,
Miami
we lived
Boat.
it up. We lived it up a little bit this weekend. Florida's really like Florida. People are bitching down here that it's been hot, but I like hot. That's why I live in the state anyways. So, but it was like, it
It
was like
is.
the same
Yeah.
probably weather in Tampa, right? It was like in the mid 80s all weekend. Wonderful sunshine. So we went over the west. We headed over to the West Coast. We went to Naples and lived it up. Went to a nice pool. Like the beach is not great out there, but went to a nice pool. Whatever. Had drinks. Just enjoy time with the family. Decompress. Enjoy the sunshine. Get some vitamin D. It's important.
Yeah, I went to the Springs yesterday, the Wiki Watchy.
Oh
And
yeah, where's that at? That's in like north, like Ocala area. Or no.
no, not that far. It's a little bit north of Tampa, like an hour north. So it's yeah, you go like kayaking. They have like the glass bottom kayaks, paddle boards and stuff. But it was funny because I went paddle boarding and I dove the spring, just like snorkel and stuff. But you really see like I feel like I'm decently Florida out, like barefoot, fucking walking around, on the boat and shit like that.
You're a Florida man. You don't have to
Yeah,
sell it. We all know
but you
that.
but you see the real Florida people at the Springs, like the people with like two teeth, like with the random tattoos, like like the 100-pound guy with the 300-pound girl, like drinking freaking beers on the kayak, like the boat's halfway tipped up.
I love
Like
it.
you see the real Florida people
I love it.
at the Springs.
Yeah.
Like man, that like when you see like a wild Florida man like in the news, those are the people that are at the Springs because you got to figure
People
they
that are
ain't got
using
nothing.
people that are using the cooler as also a flotation device to go down the spring.
Exactly. While they're drinking their Milwaukee's Best,
Yeah.
while they're, smoking 10 cigarettes with 8 vape pens and their
Nothing wrong
cousin's
with
their
that.
sister.
Nothing
No.
wrown with that. They're enjoying life. Nothing wrong with
Now,
that.
I will say the people are very happy. They're
Yeah,
very
it's
happy
fun.
people.
Yeah.
And also, too, you got to think when you live in the middle of nowhere, like they're
Mm.
probably a couple hours from a beach, everything.
Hmm.
The Springs are all you got. That Walmart. And these people, were having fun.
So sometimes people in my family get a little bit, soft and complaining that we're in this weird place. I take them, for the culture. I take them to all kinds of shit. This weekend we were in a
Yeah.
fancy hotel, fancy pool, but it's not always that way. I like to do the nature stuff too, the hiking, the trails, the camping, that stuff too. And sometimes they're complaining and they're like, we're in this place. Why'd you bring us here? And I'm like, listen, wherever you go, there you are. You're there, right? You got to figure out what the locals like to do in that location. And so if you
Yeah.
go to like North Florida and there's that beautiful natural spring and there's manatees and shit, live like they do.
Well, there was no manatees,
Oh, they
but
didn't. Yeah.
no manatees yesterday. But there usually is though. I guess it just wasn't season. Jeff, give me 1 second, by the way.
Yeah. So obviously, obviously my guy's walking outside. Market looks like a little bit shit. We'll get to that. We like to ease our way into this show. For all those of you that are new to this, we talk about some random things. We talk about the weekend. Soon we're gonna have like a show format. It's gonna look like an ESPN thing. We're trying to work on that. We're sick of this Zoom thing. This Zoom shit reminds me of COVID when people were like having like those lame parties on COVID. I hated that. People are like, let's have a cocktail party on COVID. I'm like, I do cocktail parties in real life, or I don't do them. But we want our show to look like a show, and you're gonna see. My point is, you're gonna see different segments. So, like in the beginning, we're gonna have this like what happened over the weekend, what news. So we start usually with a little bit light banter about what the heck we did this weekend, but then we're gonna move on to maybe some news topics. So, like I was briefing them, Lance, about like the format of the show, how we're trying to get like a cooler visual, like a real show look.
Yeah.
The Open. Eventually, it's going to look like an ESPN show or something. because I'm sick of this Zoom shit. It reminds me of those
I know.
parties from COVID. I don't like it.
I hate Zoom. I'm over it. I'm like,
We're gonna
you're
have
right.
the
You're right.
segments though, right? We're gonna have the set. So people, people who haven't seen it before, they're like, "Why are they talking stocks?" We'll get to that. But in the beginning, we talk about light banter, what we did over the weekend, some funny stories. Then we get to the news, right? Like maybe some news stories. Like, how about Sleepy Joe showing up in Ukraine out of the blue yesterday? That's kind of wild.
I know.
That's kind of wild. I didn't expect that.
Well, I guess we give them so much money. We gotta get at least something worth, right?
You know how much? You know how much they've gotten? Do you know the number?
No, I don't want to know. I really don't want to know.
I'm into money. I'm into the numbers. $150 billion. 150. Try 150. So to put that in perspective,
and we wonder why.
Go ahead. Say what?
Wonder why inflation and everything's so high when we're just giving countries 150 billion. Wow.
Bro, 150 billion is like the size of their GDP. Okay. But 150, that'd be like someone giving us $14 trillion or something to that effect. Okay.
We would basically be out of debt, which we're raising the shilling again.
Ain't nobody giving America 300 or $1 trillion.
Hell no.
Are taxpayers from other countries giving you money, Lance? Are you getting? I don't think so. Anyway, no. I don't think
we're never going to see the money ever again. By the way, never,
bro.
We'll never see a dollar return on that money.
Well, that's why you still have the stickiness. I mean, like Lance just cooked like $45 worth of eggs right there in front of us.
That's right.
Why you have that inflation and that stickiness, right?
Dude,
the problem. That's just the problem.
Maybe they'll open up like a foundation over there where they give with the Biden initiative where they can visit and go on yachts and stuff like that in a few years. Yeah,
I know it. Maybe he could visit Ohio and drink some of that toxic water that those poor people are having to deal with.
That was making some news. I just saw the Pete, good old Pete. What's his name? The transitory guy.
Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah. Oh God, that's a whole other story. But let's get into Jeff. Let's get into some of these shit markets because that's what they've been. I mean, another shit open. Home Depot, Wally World missing. I mean, what's bad though about the market?
It's a tough tape. It's a bipolar tape, right?
The worst part of it is it's hard to buy puts because it's not like a crash. It's like with volatility coming out. So even if you do have puts, you're not having a big enough move and a quick aggressive move to make money.
So in a normal scenario, and you nailed an incredible point. So in a normal scenario, right, the market's like steadily up, and then it has these severe shock drops, right?
Yep.
So you can get paid on puts and those because the market's not pricing it. It's unexpected when it happens. It's a shock, right? And so the market's slow up. They say the market takes what? The escalator up and then the elevator down. We're reversed out right now. We're having like this like slow selling, and then we get these mega spikes to the upside where everybody has to buy every stock up 15%, 20%. And so it's like we're kind of in that reverse, like, bizarro world where the calls will get like a little bit cheap. They'll look expensive, but the calls start to get cheap out of the blue,
Yeah, what I'm hoping, obviously buying short-term calls is not working out right now, right? But I would argue even buying puts is not working out because unless you close out the puts on a big gap down.
No, yeah. To be randomly in the stock market, long calls or long puts is terrible. But
it's difficult. Very.
But it's, as you've been saying, and as I've been saying, it's becoming more of a pros tape, right? It's becoming more of a stock picker's tape, picking your spots and not doing a lot, not doing so many things, not doing a lot, not being all in the market with all your money.
Very small.
And targeted, right? Targeted in one stock, big catalyst potential. Let me share my screen. Let's look at some stuff.
Yeah. Someone mentioned that Sigma, that lithium name that Elon Musk might buy out. But unless you bought the stock, you really can't trade it. The options are a lot of the stuff is so priced in. It's very, very hard to pick
Let's
a
look
direct
at this week.
player.
Let's see what we've got this week. I know that we've got some major numbers coming up, like in the
Yep.
beginning of March. It's kind of slowish now, in
Well,
terms of like economic. Go ahead.
this got what PMI later today. I think home sales, and then what FOMC tomorrow. The minutes.
FOMC minutes is going to be interesting because I think you have like an incredible dichotomy within the Fed of people that are like, yo, dude, you need to keep raising rates. And then, homeboy loves stocks, right? Like he's a junkie. We know that Jay Powell is corrupt. We know that he's a crony. We know that he takes care of his cronies. And we know invariably he likes the market to be bullish and he doesn't give a shit about bubbles. We know that. He leans in that direction, right? So he loves a good bubble. So I think he feel like he did the dirty work and like it's intact, everything's intact. But there's some people within his group there at the Fed that are not as corrupt and as beholden to asset prices as him, that are looking at inflation and looking at the jobs market and saying, yo, dude, we need to take the terminal rate, which is the top rate that it's going to end up at for those at home that don't know, to like 6%. Right now it's around 5%. Maybe add an extra percent into that, which I don't know if he's willing to go there yet. I think he needs more like massive shocks, which is why I'm even looking at these economic numbers, kind of beholden to it still. He put us in the spot.
Yeah, sadly, we are dependent on it. It sucks.
It sucks. Yeah.
You wake up every day and the only conversation you hear is inflation yields. It's like,
it's like, I don't know. Like
we are in that right now. Yeah, like I will say, normally, if you have Home Depot and Walmart miss earnings, I feel like that would be a much bigger story. But I feel like it's really not this morning.
But like, Walmart, I don't even think Walmart. I think Walmart might have guided like in line or a little bit lower. But did they miss? I know Home Depot missed, but I don't know. The what?
I think it came in soft. The guide.
They beat.
Walmart. Yeah, weak guidance in Walmart. Yeah, Home Depot, the inventory had issues.
Home Depot is a different story, right? Home Depot is much more like correlated to the housing market, right?
Yeah.
So if we look at and Home Depot's down a little bit more, and they got it lower, but they came kind of really in line. But it just shows you that shift of market sentiment, right? Like you have to beat convincingly to get rewarded, But we'll see. I mean,
you really do. I mean, Home Depot housing's like I had some KBH puts that worked out pretty well. Housing has came down. Remember, the home builders were super strong up until a couple weeks ago. So the home builders are coming down. I actually think that's probably a healthy thing. I just wish we see a rotation into tech and the shit stocks again. I mean, it's fun. It's fun when the shit stocks are going up.
Don't you think we're going to? Don't you think we're going to? I think there's a few that report this week, but I think we're going to.
You do have Nvidia, as everyone's saying in the chat. I mean, Nvidia is not a shit stock. It's more of a high growth, obviously a chip, but it does move kind of the junky stocks with it. It's kind of like the king of like the Kathy Wood junky stocks. Like if it starts rolling, like let's say you get Nvidia up 5% after earnings, you're probably gonna have to catch a bid that day or the next day.
Isn't it funny how like hot and horny the people that we watch that are chronics that are out there that are watching the show get for the earnings plays? We'll get to it, guys. The way this show flows is we go light banter, some news stories over the weekend. We'll do a little big picture discussion, a little macro. We'll get to it. But you got to just chill with me for a little while,
Don't want the wine and caviar. They just want down dirty. Give them the chocolate fudge cheesecake and then take them to the Ritz.
So I got buddies that play golf. We play golf. That's what middle-aged suburban dads do. And on the golf course, there's different kinds of characters. There's some people that like to get effed up on the golf course. But I like to play a couple of holes sober to see if I still know what I'm doing, right? And then maybe I'll have like a White Claw or beer or something at like the 7th or 8th hole. But I know some of these chronics, they pull out a handle of Fireball on the first hole and they go, let's go. And I'm like, no, dude, we gotta, there's a process that has to happen here.
No, go straight. Those are the kind of people who do it. I remember I would bring this guy or one of my old bosses, he would bring the little things of Jack,
Yeah.
and he
The
would bring
nippers. The
and
nippers. Yeah.
him and his I don't know what VP or whatever would bring
Yeah.
a big blunt, okay, and then they would smoke cigars in between to cover up the smell.
I don't go there. Homie
They
doesn't
were
get
degenerates I
that.
have ever seen. That but
My
they love
dude,
golf
yeah.
every weekend. Every weekend was the golf time. So
No, because it seems like it's just like a, just like a docile thing to do. But there's some rowdies out there. There's some rowdies
yeah.
now.
Oh
But,
yeah.
so,
But yeah, we got. Did you hear? By the way, I see some people mention Etsy. Did you hear about Hindenburg with Etsy, the Big Short?
no, no. Are they like calling out
Oh,
like? Are they saying like scam? Are they saying like?
they're saying basically Etsy. This was their thing last week. Etsy selling fake counterfeit goods.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have a Big Short position on the stock, right? But
Right.
they're basically saying they're violating laws by selling counterfeit goods and all this shit, trying to get Etsy to come down. And it is, if you look at the intraday action, you'll have like these big spike downs and stuff. But I
Yeah.
think that's pressure on eBay too, with the whole counterfeit, like
I
all the
think
fake
eBay
brands.
has earnings this week.
They do.
I mean, but let's think about this.
Money laundering, Credit Suisse got popped this morning. But it's a bank, though. We don't care about the banks. I mean,
Credit Suisse is a shit bank, dude. Credit Suisse is a bank that tried to like they tried to like infiltrate Wall Street, the U.S. market, and compete. I know this because I knew like the top guys at the in the hedge fund prime brokerage of credit. They're great. Some of the great dudes. They fired. They got rid of these dudes many years ago. But for a while, this bank, it's a Swiss bank, right? Who's
right.
made all their money by like being a Swiss bank, by having like really rich families and institutions park their cash, their gold, whatever, in their accounts. But these guys tried to like come in and with the big boys in the USA and eat Morgan Stanley's lunch and Goldman's lunch and shit in trading, and failed miserably. Like they were totally unequipped to do any of that. So look at this stock, Credit Suisse. This is basically a penny stock now.
I know, isn't that wild?
And it's wild because this is was at one point one of the biggest, still $12 billion market cap at that
look at
level.
Barclays too.
Barclays, it's a similar thing, right? I don't know. One of the things that the U.S. does the best is finance. You know what I'm saying? Like we are really good at this stuff. I mean, we're really good at Wall Street. We're really good at monetizing stuff. We're really good about creating financial products, trading it. I mean, look at Goldman Sachs's chart over the last 5 years compared to Credit Suisse. Right?
They're all Credit Suisse, Barclays, Deutsche Bank, all shit. Yeah, but they have been, to be fair.
Look at this. Look at this. These guys went up. These guys went. That's a money link right there. That's a link trade. That's a beautiful link trade. European banks, dog shit. I mean, that's like you want to figure out a way to like lose your money right away. Like just buy a European bank and hope for the best.
It has been, though, to be fair. This is not anything new.
It's not new, but like what's scary to me is that everyone takes the U.S. for granted and thinks it has to be this way, and that we have like this built-in edge over the world, which we kind of do right now, but it's not a given. It's not a God-given right. It's earned.
I mean, you realize some of these banks, probably not the U.S. banks, but some of these banks could just, if you wake up and say, hey, they're whole under investigation, they're failing, stuff like that. Like it could happen even in this day and age.
Well, I like to think of black swans, right? I like to think of situations that nobody's pricing in that could just create like massive volatility, like massive mega volatility in markets. And my big black swan for this year is financial meltdowns, like isolated financial meltdowns. Because I think there's people that are, and it's very simple. It's a very simple theory, dude. Rates are going up and you have to pay debt based on interest rates that are floating. You're effed. Yesterday's price is not today's price. So if you had like your entire payroll, your entire like function of operating your company, your banking, if you had that based on interest rates, there's pressure right now, which is why I also think that these things can't get too out of hand, like from the Fed's point of view. So the United States government, just to finance our own massive mega debt, is paying over $1 trillion right now. Start of COVID, it was 250 billion. This year, it's a trillion. Okay. What happens if it goes to 2 trillion, 3 trillion? Then we're totally, then we can't give Zelensky that money
Right.
before. Let's look at some stocks. Let's look at some this week.
We'll always give him his money. You know, he'll just go to some award show and, you know, raise
as long as the big guy gets a kickback, right? So
right.
Coin is after the market. That's an interesting stock.
Oh God.
You want to go junkie? You want to go junkie?
It went from like what 40 to 80 down to 60. Like this stock moves in 50% increments, like nothing. It's almost like as bad as SI, silver. Speaking of Bitbank.
Let's take a look at Coin, like, as you know, on a longer term basis first. We'll right?
do Coin, and let's do some Square. Square reports earnings too.
Okay. So this is Coin's daily chart.
Yeah, look at that recent swing high and that pullback.
Yeah, but you know what they say? There's a saying on the street, bro. If it printed that price, it can trade it again. Now this looks like a flash price, but for me, this is a guidepost if they beat to where the stock is going to trade. I think the stock could trade 25-30% higher if they have a really good number.
So let me ask you. I think I know the answer to this, but how does Coinbase trade up on earnings?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you saying? Like how much?
To trade higher. Let's say numbers or whatever, right? Numbers don't matter. Let's say they meet, numbers come in line. What do they have to say for the stock to price up?
They have to say that their user activity is on the upswing, that more people are trading, that they're growing customers. That's what they have to say.
And that's because of stabilization of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin.
Also because there's a purge, FTX, all the fake. They have to say we're the real exchange. All the fake exchanges are going away, and that's good for us. And we've seen our users go up. That's what they have to say.
The activity and our user growth because of the price increase in Bitcoin previous quarter. Then the stock goes up 20%.
So the stock is trading this morning pre-market at $63.20. Okay. So I was just showing you that the stock printed $87 2 weeks ago. Right? I mean, okay, maybe $87 is a reach.
It's nothing. Butter. It's like butter. $20 moves in Coinbase is like butter.
Look how expensive this shit is, dude.
Oh, God.
300% implied volatility. Oh, my God.
What's the implied move? I can't see, but I'm going to assume probably $12.
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, let's go back and let's look at what they've done. God, this is what I hate. Because I'm leaning bullish, but like they're making it almost impossible.
Is it? You have to do like out the money bull call spreads.
Yeah.
If you want any kind of, shot at like 3-1 on your money.
But how would you structure that out of curiosity?
Like maybe like the 75-80 call spread.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, and then you're just, I hate to say you're kind of like hoping and praying that the stock catches a bid that much. So you're basically doing a binary event for an out the money call spread and hope to have a massive squeeze.
Yeah.
I mean, you could sell bull put credit spreads out of the money and maybe risk like $70 to make $30 for something more.
This is just too high. I don't know, man. I'm crossing this off the list. Let's go on to the next stock. It's just.
All right, let's do Square.
Okay.
Let's do Square. Square's going to be more reasonable. The stock's pulled back a lot. PayPal has decent earnings. Nothing crazy, but.
What is Square symbol again?
SQ.
SQ, right? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, there was a lot of call buying in it, and the stock went up, and now it's came back down a lot.
Yeah.
So even the big call players are definitely underwater on it.
So this is a spot that the stock, like I like this chart, believe it or not, because the stock based, right? And then the stock had to move higher. And now it's pulled back like a decent, like a healthy pullback. And it's kind of, this range, your downside is what, like 70-ish, high 60s. And your upside is like, again, where it printed. Where it printed, right? So if we look at SQ, let's look at SQ's options. $73 stock.
It shouldn't be that bad.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's not cheap, but it's not Coinbase either.
No. I mean, you got to think too. Square, go to the historic moves. It actually does move pretty well, I swear. We'll get to Nvidia. I gotta.
Yeah, it had
I
a
do love the PC.
26% move last year, same quarter.
See,
Nice. I like
that's
that. I like
it.
historical patterns too.
What are the what's the square 80s going for? The weeklies.
Two
Say under
dollars, $2,
God,
two-ish.
you gotta admit, I am pretty good. I didn't even look at it. I said $2.
Very good. Very good.
All right,
I think we get to the place we want to get to when we talk to each other on this stuff. What else?
let's go to the king of chips.
Nvidia.
I just got on my machine, so I'm gonna pull up some stuff too. Let's just go straight to Nvidia. Get down and dirty with it. Why not?
Let's first take a look at Nvidia. So implied one-day move 6%.
That ain't bad.
It's had a bunch of single-digit moves though, right? But this is a different environment, right?
Yeah. It is historically a volatility killer. It will like not move after earnings and then get some legs. So it is historically a vol killer. That's why I'm curious to see where they're pricing it.
Yeah. So the 200 and the 230s are trading at $3. I don't know.
Oof.
They're not making it easy for us today. They're not making it easy for us today, I don't think. Anyways.
They really say either in terms of moving higher. Like what does Nvidia say where the stock goes up? Like
they say AI is mega and we're going to get so much money from ChatGPT and all their wannabe crony, side chicks, and we're going to make a shit ton of money because we're the best chip maker and we're the only guys that can make advanced enough chip technology for AI. And we're going to be the only ones for the next 3 years. And so we're warning up. Then you're going to see the stock trade up in the 250 range. But I don't know if they're willing to say that in this environment.
But that actually is a really good bull case, is what you just said.
It's a fundamental, it's a beauty case because everybody wants AI. That's like the chronic story of everything, like right now, right?
You're actually persuading me to be very bullish on Nvidia. I'm looking at some AI stocks now.
Yeah.
AI up, not $1, about 50 cents pre-market. Stonehound is up a little bit pre-market. So the AI stocks are bid a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
It's too. You could probably play Nvidia. It's
here,
down.
Share your screen if you want. I just took it down.
You want to share my screen? It's here.
We're almost done anyways. Let's just sum it up for people. Coinbase, play Nvidia, leaning bull, Square leaning bull.
Or I think you could play tickers like AI, BBA, SOUN for Nvidia earnings.
Right.
And that potential AI move if they mention AI. By the way, the markets are on the freaking dead low this morning. What a miserable tape. I mean, this tape just look at the SPOOs down 40. Just
Yeah.
It's went from like the best trading market a couple weeks ago to like just I mean, Walmart recovered only down about $3.50, but like there's just
not an easy time. Not an easy time. Definitely a time to scale back and lighten up and just be,
scale down. That is the number one thing that you could do right now is scale down your size. If you're used to trading 10 lots, trade 5 lots. You're used to trading 100 lots, trade 50 lots.
This is a historically kind of bearish time of year.
Yeah.
Last couple of weeks, early March, end of Feb, historically kind of shitty. Like last year we had the Russia thing, remember? That was right around that. I mean, obviously the market, was in a different state last year, but just keep watching rates too. Watch the short-term rates. They're squeezing everybody with those rates. You see rates to come down, that's going to be the juice for some rallies. We need to see the rates stop going up. 2-year. Watch the 2-year. All right, y'all. Happy week, and let's go.
Yeah, scale down. Oh, don't be a big dog. Maybe
No
tomorrow.
Crush Friday. No Crush Friday. I'm traveling. I'm sorry, guys. But we'll be back next week.
Well, no Crush Friday, but maybe tomorrow we get a turnaround Wednesday. We'll hope for that because it's just a miserable
Jen's
thing.
asking if we should exit our positions. I say no, not here.
Uh,
We've had 2 straight weeks down. We're having a continuation sell off this morning to start a week. Definitely don't sell it right away. Definitely not. So I'd say hard no to that. All right. Peace, y'all.
I'll take the pain.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Wow. Look at all the love we're getting. Love you guys. Take it
Thanks.
easy.